The light-hitting Padres are in town, presenting opportunity for the Nats to get back in the win column.
Washington Nationals baseball.
It's time to get a program so you can get reacquainted with your Nats and the San Diego Padres. First of 3 6-game homestand. It is smoking hot in our nation's capital for the weekend. San Diego actually better on the road than they are at home, and they hit much better on the road. And the Nats now, FP, have lost 7 of their last 8 ball games. So you look at this situation, almost a third of
this thing around. Do something to help the ball club win a game. Don't worry about your own numbers. Just get out there and do something to win. And guess what? You look up at the end of the night, you got a couple of hits, you've done things to help your team.
Yeah, it's sort of the dichotomy of baseball. One guy at a time steps up to the plate, but it is a true team game.
It is, and they have to realize that. So many times in baseball, as a player, you get caught up in your own deal, and I think these guys are smart enough, they've been around enough, they worry about the team, and all your numbers will come out where they're supposed to be.
One more question. What more can Michael Morse do than what he's doing right now? 395, 4 homers, 10 RBIs over his last 17 games, and he was unstoppable in Wisconsin. At Milwaukee, 3 games, 5 for 13, 3 homers, 8 RBIs. Mike is mashing. Let's hope his teammates join him. By AT&T, it's the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hot day, things cooling off just a little bit with some cloud cover. Early evening here on a Friday night. It's May 27th. June is around the corner, and we invite you to visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a Train. Clouds overhead, maybe some weather, but it looks pretty good for now. 81 degrees at the ballpark and just a little bit of 62% humidity. Now, the Padres are hitting only .228, last in the league, but on the road, they're at .265. Only the Giants have scored fewer runs. And right now, their marquee guys are Ryan Ludwig and Jorge Cantu in the middle of that lineup. Although Cantu, great against the Nats career, hitting just a .198 right now. Used to do some damage when he was with the Florida Marlins whenever the Nats played them. John Lannon, 6 starts without a win. FP, the key for him, he usually does pitch pretty well at home.
He does. He pitches good in this ballpark. He's coming off a rough outing last time against the Orioles. 6 runs on 9 hits and 6 innings of work. Retired the first 6 batters he faced. Then he allowed 4 runs on 5 hits in the 3rd inning. So for John Lannon lately, Bob, and we've seen this as a pattern, second time around the orders become a very big deal. 2-seam fastball, curve and a change. He'll run that fastball up there, 93. I think for him to be successful tonight against these guys, in to win. Establish that fastball in, establish that slider in. The defense behind John Lannon tonight, Bixler, Bernardino, and Worth in the outfield, Desmond and Hairston on the left side, Espinoza and Morse on the right side, and Wilson Ramos doing the catching.
Danny Espinoza, a rare error in Milwaukee on a pop fly the other night, but he's been outstanding with only 4 errors on the year. Nationals defense, 9th in the league. Stepping in, Chris Denorfia. Right in front of the home plate umpire, 7-year veteran Ed Hickox. Ed Rapuano, the crew chief, Brian Honora, and Alfonso Marquez have the bases. Strike 1 at 7:06. We are underway in our nation's capital. And by the way, here's an encouraging note. National starters at home this year, 2.40. Best in the National League, 2nd best in all of baseball. So in this park, the pitching staff's been outstanding. Chris Denorfia, the San Diego leadoff man, 30-year-old outfielder. And a chopper left side. Deep short, Desmond plants, fires on a hop. Michael Morse cradles it for the first out. Well done on both ends. Michael Morse doesn't have to do anything Adam LaRoche-like or exceptional at first base. Just make some basic plays. Take care of the throws, dig a few out of the dirt, and now in that FP there will be the long or in-between hop.
I mean, it's a former shortstop right there. He's an athlete. He's a big guy. You don't think of Michael Morse as a shortstop, but that's what he came up as. So picking a ball like that is nothing for him.
Jason Bartlett did some good things in his career with Minnesota and Tampa Bay. He's with the Padres now. They got him in a 6-player deal back in December, and right now he's hitting .329 on the road. One of the big reasons the Padres offense is much better away from Petco Park, their spacious home.
And the fact that on their last road trip they played in Milwaukee, Colorado, and Arizona. 3 of the best hitters ballparks in the league.
They must have won some of those because they're 11-10 on the road for Buddy Black this year. One of the outstanding gentlemen in this game. And a little flare, foul outside first, 1-2. Bud Black is in his 5th year with the Padres. Coming off a 90-72 season when they finished only 2 games behind the world champion Giants in the West. Pitched 15 years with Seattle, Kansas City, Cleveland, Toronto, San Francisco.
Well, they had an interesting article come out in the San Diego Union Tribune today. They had an anonymous player saying this is a team of independent contractors. Wow. Last season the talk was about we've just done to pull out a game or how we could beat the league's best pitcher by creating a couple of runs. This year, there's not a lot of that talk yet. So somebody on the Padres team said something very strong without owning it.
2 ground ball outs. Well, a lot of attention to the remarks of Jason Worth the last couple of days, but he did put his name on those. There's a big difference between the two.
Well, one, you kind of had to figure out what he was saying with Jason Worth. I mean, if you're going to say something, say it. I had no idea.
He did leave a lot of people dangling.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to say something, say it. And if you're going to say something about somebody, go up to that somebody and look them in the eye and say it.
And Jim Riggleman said today he does not believe Jason Worth was talking about him. They did have a chat. Terms of that discussion were not revealed. Here's Ryan Ludwig, a big power guy who has one of the most aggressive setups at the plate you will ever see. 8 homers, 30 RBIs. But Ludwig, who came over at the trading deadline last year from St. Louis, only hitting .230. Target in. Jammed him. Another grounder. Desmond, can he get him? Oh, what a scoop by Michael Morse. He goes to the ground and stretches out that 6'5" frame. Desmond and Morse teaming up for a couple, and this is outstanding. And the lineup packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Michael Morse, month of May. A lot of M's and a lot of numbers. .395 with 4 homers and 10 runs batted in. Steps into the ball game tonight hitting .281. Nationals will face 27-year-old Clayton Richard, coming off a 14-9 season. He was one of the 4 players the Padres got for Jake Peavy a couple of years ago. And Roger Bernardino fouls the first pitch away.
And Clayton Richard, fastball, slider, cutter, curveball, change through 100 pitches in just 5 innings of work last time out against the Mariners. Got to make him throw strikes. He's given up 13 runs in his last 3 starts.
Only appropriate, he's wearing the big blue of San Diego after he wore the big blue of Michigan. Football and baseball guy in Ann Arbor. He's originally out of Purdue territory, McCutcheon High School, Lafayette, Indiana. And Bernardino serving foul balls all over the place here.
Defense for the Padres tonight behind Clayton Richard. I think you see a familiar name there at second base, Alberto Gonzalez. 7 games at shortstop this year for the Padres. This is his 8th game at second base. He's got 1 start at third. So the former Nat, there he is, playing second base for the Pods.
He is a wonderful defensive player. Usually when the Nats would lose Ryan Zimmerman for a game or 2 here and there, Alberto would step in and do a very fine job. 1-2 to Roger, starting his 19th consecutive game now. And he's worked the count back even at 2-2.
One thing to keep an eye on with Clayton Richard, he has trouble throwing to first base on fielded balls.
Really?
He's got the yips.
Too bad it's too late in the count to bunt. By the way, the Padres pitching staff last year, one of the top 2 in the National League with the Giants. 3.37, very, very good. This year, number 6 in the National League, and they'd have more wins if they had more run support. Bernardino will pull this one to Alberto Gonzalez, who throws out his former teammate. All ground balls from both pitchers so far. That'll bring up Ian Desmond. Good to be back home where the Nats have won 9 of their last 14. They have a home record this year of 11-9, and against the West, they're 3-1. Of course, that was taking 3 out of 4 from the Giants. So here's Desmond hitting .321 over his last 6 games. In his career against Clayton Richard, Desmond is 3 for 6 with a pair of solo home runs. This one popped into right field for Chris DeNorfia. 2 outs. Jason Worth and Jim Rugelman recently having a conversation. The manager's take on that.
I'm not going to tell you what was said, but yeah, he's definitely on board. But you know, it was a really good conversation. He had some ideas, I had some ideas, and I think it was a very good conversation.
It's good that they talk things out. You look at your manager in the eye and you tell him what you think. He tells you what he thinks, and you iron things out. And maybe it could have been handled a little better originally. But it's nice to see those two talking things out. I think whatever you want to take out of what Jason Ward said in the newspaper, one of the things I'm taking out of it is that he cares. You could have a bunch of milquetoast guys that don't care about losing, and that's not the case with this baseball team. It hurts when they lose baseball games, and maybe the frustration just boiled to a point to where if he could do it over again, he'd do it differently. But I'm old school, partner. If you got something to say, say it. And if you got something to say, look the man in the eye and say it to his face.
Yep.
Not through the media.
2-1. Worth gets a piece of this one. Fairly deep to right center. Cameron Maben, the former Marlin, on the track. And the Nats are gone. Each pitcher, the lefties, with a 1-2-3 first. Miller Lite. Fun night at the ballpark for all the folks out in the Red Loft, Red Porch area. We invite you to call Luna, 70% off all flooring, 877-241-LUNA. Shop smart. Shop Luna. And look at that, only the Oakland Athletics in the spacious Coliseum out there. A better home ERA for the starters than the Nats.
But they got some pretty good starting pitching, too. It's not all about the spacious Oakland Coliseum, although there is a lot of foul ball territory there that will take away hits.
Yep.
They got some young studs out there on the West Coast.
Well, we talked about this before. The coast is all about pitching, isn't it? Giants, A's, Padres. Jorge Cantu hitting 198, 4 for 14 career with a homer against Lannon. FP mentioned how good John Lannon is early. Opening innings of his starts this year, a 2.25 ERA. From the third inning on, it almost triples.
I was asking pitchers today, former pitchers around the ballpark, why is that? And maybe John Lannon shows all of his pitches first time around, so when you come up your second time, you've seen everything he has, so there's no surprises. A lot of times you'll see guys try to go through the order with just their fastball, maybe fastball change, and save their curveball for the second time around.
Pop-up right field line, long way to go for everybody, and Danny Espinosa gets there. And he gets rid of it in a hurry, just in case it pops out of his mitt. Great range, great catch by Danny, heading full speed to the right field line.
There's no question about the range of Danny Espinosa. Look how far he goes for this baseball. And this is the part I always call the Bermuda Triangle, where you usually see three guys going after it. But that ball was all Danny Espinosa. There was no interference there. He didn't have to worry about the right fielder or the first baseman. It was all him. He made a great play over the shoulder.
Next up, after Cantu is retired, another former Marlin, Cameron Maben. who the Nats got to see quite a bit over the 08, 09, and 10 seasons with the Marlins. He was always considered their up-and-coming young star, great speed. And then the Marlins traded him to the Padres for a couple of relievers, Edward Mujica and Ryan Webb, who are now very important parts of the Florida bullpen. Maybin's only 24 from Asheville, North Carolina. Chase Headley hits behind him. Maybin, by the way, is the best right-handed hitter in the league against left-handed pitching. Good changeup by Lannon. This guy's hitting .410 against southpaws. Nothing like taking his timing away. Let's see how John follows it up. He goes with a fastball up, 92. John must be nice and loose on this warm evening.
Yeah, fastball up. It was supposed to be down and in. He's been having trouble pulling that fastball across to the inner half to righties. He wanted to plant that one on Maybin's back knee.
2-2 now. There's a breaking ball that hits the ground near his back foot. But remember what we talked about in Milwaukee, how far away off to the side the cameras are? We love it when we come to Nationals Park and see our center field shot, because it's just slightly off center. But look at that. We're looking almost directly in over the second base bag, the pitching rubber, and home plate. We get a real good look at these pitches here. 3-2, and he gets him up and away. John Lannon's first strikeout.
Just a two-seamer up in the strike zone. I thought it was a changeup originally, but you look at the late action on it. It was 86 miles an hour. Maybe Maybin was looking in, set him up nicely. Fastball up and in, curveball down and in. Then he goes fastball up and away. And you see two pitches on the inner half of the plate. That one on the outer half of the plate looks way out there.
Chase Headley, the third baseman, to the shortstop, Desmond. And John Lannon has 4 ground ball outs, retiring 6 in a row to start the game. Morse coming up.
In Milwaukee, 3 jacks in the series. The Oppo Taco right there was probably the farthest one. You got a fastball in right there, trying to keep it fair. You got a little hanger out over the plate. Ball middle away that he goes out and hooks with his big frame. You see it right there? So all of a sudden, Michael Moore's starting to heat up. Made the adjustments that we talked about after the first night. Hit the home run and then sat on some off-speed stuff as he leads off the second with a base hit.
He's a shift buster. Alberto Gonzalez was playing him up the middle, and he got a base hit just to Alberto's left.
Well, this is what he's been doing so well. Check out the location right down the middle. He's not jumping out there like he was earlier in the season. He's letting the ball get deep, letting it travel. Look at the contact point right there. It's a great shot, guys, of his head on the baseball. Maybe a little overthinking it by the Padres with the shift. Michael Morse can go the other way with the best of them.
He is really swinging well. Hitting nearly 400 now over the last 18 ball games. Next up will be Wilson Ramos, who's in another bit of a tailspin, 0 for his last 13. Maybe some home cooking will take care of that. Wilson has hit well in this ballpark this year. 255 overall, 3 homers, 11 RBIs.
He put on a display in BP today that was unbelievable. I've seen him put on some displays, but today was awesome.
That one doesn't go too far. Clayton Richard does throw it on target to first base, and that moves Michael Morse up with the first out, bottom of the second. Sunday, bring the kids out. First 10,000, 12 and under, receive a kids bat and ball set presented by Masson. Now, some of the tickets Sunday start at $10. Nationals.com/tickets for all your details. A bat and ball set. Danny Espinoza is next. Hitting .244 right-handed, 200 overall. By the way, Danny Espinoza is chasing an RBI number by a rookie that invokes what Ryan Zimmerman did back in '06. Nats are playing their 50th game of the night. If he gets 1 RBI, he ties Zimmerman's club record. He'll take that one on the inside corner, quickly 0-2. Danny 27 RBIs in 49 games, and Zimmerman had 28 in '06, his first full year. Gonzalez jockeying near the bag, and so Clayton Richard steps off. Hollywood Casino Charlestown Races, West Virginia. Red hot slots and action-packed table games, and there it is. Coco LeBoy, Ian Desmond, and Archie Cianfrocco.
Archie Cianfrocco, my old buddy from the Expos.
Back to 92. And by the way, the lowest batting average for a guy to ever lead his team, Dave Kingman of the Mets in '82 drove in 99 runs while hitting .204.
That's because he hit so many taters.
He was all or nothing.
King Kong.
Espinoza, a little flare off to the right side, foul. Jerry Hairston Jr. Well, he's been hitting well over the last 3 weeks. And that will require a new bat. Other ball games in the East tonight. Roy Oswalt, Chris Capuano, Phillies at Mets just underway. Tommy Hanson for the Braves at home tonight against the struggling Reds. And then later, Javier Vazquez for the Marlins on the coast against John Garland and the Dodgers. Phillies have a game lead over the Marlins, 3.5 over the Braves. One and two to Espinoza. That's a bouncer way out in front of home plate, and that's blocked by the catcher, Rob Johnson.
And good block by Johnson right here. If Michael Morse is anticipating this, he might be able to get to third base. The ball kicked away from him pretty late, and by that time you're already thinking about going back to second.
Big gap in left center right over Michael Morse's head. Espinoza will pull it left side, cutting it off Chase Headley. 2 outs.
Well, this is a situation we've been talking a lot about. 2 out, runner in scoring position. The Nats hitting just 156 in this situation this season. 28 for 180. 42 runs scored. So, how does it start? Just a little single, pick somebody up, think about the team, think about maybe getting ahead in this ball game and not about the numbers. And Jerry Hairston Jr.'s had some very spirited at-bats in these situations, so this might be a case of the right man, the right spot.
Hairston, 323 his last 17 games. 1 career RBI against Richard. By the way, 2 of the better running teams in the league tonight. Padres #1 in steals with 50. Nats #5 with 40. This is not a steal situation, but you may see several of them between now and Sunday. Both teams trying to get hits, love to run. And a good fastball outside corner, 1-1.
I mean, that 156 average with 2 outs and runners and scoring, that's a number that almost has to change. You know?
Yeah.
You would think that just based on track record and what these guys have done in the past, that number has to change. And hopefully soon for the Nationals.
Pretty good take on a very close 1-1 pitch. Now Rick Eckstein knows that number needs to change. And again, they continue to play these Nationals right-handed batters toward right center. Brian Bixler getting another start. He was in left field frequently for the Nats in Milwaukee. Right now, this team is really loaded with left-handed bats. Ankiel, Cora, Nix, and Stairs all on the bench tonight. Fastball rides high, 3-2.
Good take right there by Jerry Hairston. It's a pitch when you got 2 strikes. It's right in your eyes. You want to swing at it, hold up at the last second.
Hairston in the air. Right field line, Denorfia cruising for it. And the Nats will waste a leadoff hit. You know, the skyline might be taller in New York, Baltimore, and Milwaukee, but this one's the best of all. Good to be home.
Lannon so far, he's been good. He's got 5 ground ball outs. His defense is playing good behind him. Look at the pitch right here to Ryan Ludwig. Ties him up a little bit. He and Desmond go in the hole. Michael Moore stretching out, making a great play. Very athletic play. See another athletic play right here by Danny Espinoza going down the line. So far, so good for John Lannon. And the first 6 to 9 hitters haven't been the problem. It's been after that second time around, so let's see if he can keep it locked in.
In order, first 2 innings, and here's the catcher, Rob Johnson, with a bunt. Lannon, time enough to glove it and throw it for the first out. A catcher batting 176, trying to bunt his way aboard, and he didn't get that anywhere near the third base line. So that's another ground ball out for Lannon, with Gonzalez and Richard coming up. Alberto Gonzalez Just turned 29 on April 18th at 265 for the Nats 2 years ago. 247 last year. He and Emilio Bonifacio, now in Florida, were longtime minor league teammates. They played alongside each other. Double play combination at South Bend, Indiana years ago. And they actually both came to the big leagues at the same time on a Friday night a couple of years ago and sparked the Nats to some exciting weekend wins against the Cincinnati Reds. On an 0-2 pitch, John Lennon misses low to Gonzalez, batting 197. Alberto's a 253 career hitter in parts of 5 years with the Yankees, the Nats, and now the Padres. That's a 2-hopper out to Ian Desmond. 6 ground ball outs for John Lennon. Here's our upcoming schedule from Commuter Connections. They tell you we'll get you home, guaranteed. Tomorrow, Jordan Zimmerman, Tim Stauffer, right-handers at 105. Tom Gorzolani and Dustin Mosley, 135 on Sunday. And then Levon goes against the Phillies. Roy Halladay, Monday day. It's Memorial Day, 105. Marquis and Lee, Tuesday night. Lannon against Oswalt, Wednesday afternoon. Man, if you like day baseball, bask in the sunshine with us on this homestand. 6 games, 4 of them under the sun. Clayton Richard 0 for 16 this year, a 110 career batter. Lannon working like he's double parked. He wants to get this 3rd inning over with, and he's gone 1 and 2 to this guy already. Nasty breaking ball, 9 in a row to start the ball game. John Lennon off to a great start. He'll hit after Brian Bixler. Bottom of the 3rd coming right up. Report. Visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Good evening, Debbie.
Good evening, Bob. Brian Bixler's making his 2nd start in left field. He told me that it's challenging to be ready on a daily basis, but he's learned from some of the best in the business.
We have a lot of good guys on this team that can really give me some good pointers, and just for me to watch them go about how they do it, you know, with guys like Matt Stairs and Jerry Harrison and Alex Corey, you know, guys that have been around a long time that have done this before in this role. And, you know, you can't get much better than that.
Jim Riggleman told me, too, that he hasn't really seen Brian play a whole lot, so it's good to get a look at him, and he really likes the versatility that Brian brings to the ball club. Bob, FP?
Out early in the count there. He does have great speed, good defensive guy. There is a place on every ball club for such a player.
It's fun, too. You come to the yard, you don't know what number is going to be put by your name, 7, 8, 9. Am I playing 3rd base today? But if you do your work in batting practice, you take ground balls at every position, take fly balls at every position in the outfield, there's no surprises.
John Lennon 0 for 17 this year, and Richard gets ahead of him. Lannon gets some pretty good wood on that thing. That ball is cruising to Mabin. He just made that look pretty easy on a ball John Lannon hit about 370 feet.
I just had a Devon White flashback on that play by Cameron Mabin. He made that look easy. That ball was touched.
Hey, there's another Miller Lite party night here at the ballpark, even though tomorrow's a day game. Tickets start at $20. First drink is on the house. Get there early. $5 beers, live entertainment, live music. We had some tonight. Nationals.com/party. Some restrictions do apply. 105 game tomorrow. Breaking ball to Roger Bernardina. He will slash one straight back. 1-1. Bernardina bounced out to the second baseman, Alberto Gonzalez, first time up. There appears to be some interesting weather coming right up I-95 toward us. There's some big-time rain down around Woodbridge right now, between Woodbridge and Manassas. That ball is dragged by the mound, and the race is on. Safe is Bernardina. Alberto Gonzalez played it beautifully. Roger simply too fast. And the Nats have their second base hit.
What a play by Gonzalez to make that close. Roger Bernardina bunted that ball, and I said, that's a hit all the way. Watch him make this close. Great bunt by Bernardina. Putting it where he wants it. Bare hand. Flip as he's falling down with something on it. Throws a strike. Good call. Safe.
And Buddy Black doesn't like the call. He's on the field talking to Ed Rapuano at first base.
After further review.
Yeah, he was out.
He was out.
The Nats get a break.
And he looked out with the naked eye from up here first time. And jumped the gun a little bit on the replay from the first shot we had. But you saw that last angle. He was definitely out. Nats catch a break, and guess what? They'll take it. This is one where you got to make it hurt and think about stealing second base on the first pitch.
Yeah, why not go for it, huh?
Yeah, but they're thinking that too, so you have to be careful of a pitch out, a bunch of throwovers, but that's almost like reaching first base with 2 outs via an error. The Nationals got a break. Now you got to take advantage of it.
Their catcher, Rob Johnson, former Seattle Mariner, 3 for 22 as far as runners caught stealing, so not getting a whole lot of help from his pitching staff. Bernardina on the year in the stolen base department, 6 for 6. The Nats a good percentage, 40 out of 52. And Desmond will tap on right to the pitcher. Third inning over. Padres and Nats scoreless. Not too many people around baseball will be shocked by that. And enter to win a trip to the All-Star Game. Compliments of Scott's. We have weather approaching. That weather that was right about Woodbridge is now about half the way from Woodbridge to the Arlington, Alexandria, Washington area. So first team that scores here will get some kind of advantage. Top of the fourth inning, John Lennon. Look at that, 6 on the ground, couple of strikeouts, a routine fly. Chris Denorfia leads off for the Padres, top of the fourth. Breaking ball in there. Lannon, 31 pitches, 23 strikes in his first 3 frames. These guys are barely sitting down in the dugout, and it's time to get back out there. He's had a good changeup. That wasn't a straight change. It was 88.
Got a nice little friendly going on here tonight.
Wow. There's some clouds coming up over the back of the stadium that look like that giant spaceship from that one movie. It's not Independence Day just yet. But that's a beautiful breaking ball to strike out Denorfia looking. John Lennon, 3rd K of the night. Let's check it on the kinetic pitch track.
Well, I was checking out the clouds over the stadium, but let's check it out together. Nasty hammer right there. And Denorfia just gives up on it.
There's some stuff blowing in over the first base roof now. Can't tell if it's rain or mist, and here it comes. The hitter is Jason Bartlett as fans scramble. Boy, John Lannon gets things working his way. Now we have lightning out to right field, and you'll hear the thunder.
Well, they got to get off the field. As soon as there's lightning, you can't mess around with the game. You got to get off the field.
Ed Rapiuano gets him off the field at 7:47 local time. You've got to when there's lightning. I'm telling you, it came in a hurry.
I mean, look at right over right field where the Curly W clock is. It's pitch black, raining over there. And that bolt was close, partner.
Yeah, it was right out beyond, probably a block or so beyond the right field corner. So we do have a rain delay that starts officially here at 7:46. Tarp is going on, and this is going to go on for a while. Although when this Sirius cell passes by, there's nothing but green behind it, which does not indicate any kind of violent weather. So we've got a delay here at the ballpark. ESPN News coming your way until we're ready to resume. Let's hope this isn't too long, because John Lannon is pitching great. We'd love to see him get back out there. Back with you, hopefully soon.
delay this year. And that's hard. You're sitting in the clubhouse, you're wondering what you're going to do next. And if you remember in Pittsburgh, good before the rain delay, not so good after the rain delay. I think an error cost him, and he sat around that game. There's our friend Phil Cuzzy waving the tarp on the field. And tonight, once again, he's cruising. 7 ground ball outs, had the good curveball going. So we'll see how he reacts to this whole rain delay. You want to think that he's used to it, but that's hard for a pitcher.
Yeah, and these rain delays, none of them are like 15, 20 minutes. We're talking 45 to 50 minutes or so. Now, let me ask you this, FP. A guy like John Lannon, who doesn't throw as hard as a Jordan Zimmerman or some of the other guys in the league, any difference in how this affects a pitcher who maybe is not of that 95 sort of ilk?
You know, I don't know because I never pitched, so I can't really honestly answer that. But for John Lannon, I mean, it's one of those things where he's a field pitcher. He pitches with a lot of touch, and a lot of times we just sit around. If you get a little bit stiff, that could affect your outing. So we'll see. I really don't know. I know I like to hit against guys that sat around for a while in the clubhouse. I'll tell you that.
Like to be the first guy out and maybe see that first pitch fastball?
Yeah, you make them establish a strike zone once again. I mean, you make them throw strikes. You want to see if they're loose, if they've lost anything. So if I'm a Padres hitter facing John Lannon right now, I have to make him throw strikes.
So the Nats have taken the field, and John Lannon pretty much gets all the time he needs here to re-ready himself. Clayton Richard has gone to the Padres bullpen in left field, and he'll be ready to face, in the bottom of this inning, Jason Worth, Michael Morris, and Wilson Ramos. So the left-hander needs to make sure he's ready against 3 high-quality right-handed batters. Interesting matchup with the Padres and the Nats getting together. The bottom 2 teams in the league in batting average, in fact, in all of baseball, with runners in scoring position, 2 outs, on base percentage, you name it, the strikeouts, neither one of these ball clubs doing a whole lot. And when we talk about strikeouts, we're talking about the most strikeouts and the second most strikeouts.
And we're talking about a team with 41 home runs in the Nationals versus a team in the Padres with 31 home runs. So when you talk about strikeouts, yeah, those numbers are okay if you're hitting some balls out of the ballpark. But
right.
They're not. I'll just say this about the Nationals offense tonight. If they're half as electric as that lightning show we just saw, they're going to score a lot of runs. That was something.
Well, the good news is we can see the Capitol Dome clearly. That means for at least 1.7 miles to the north of us, there's nothing. But there were times when it was scary around here. I thought I saw what looked like a mini tornado coming in over first base. It was like ash and debris going around in a circle as it came over the roof, and then the rain really came in. So here we are at 8:33. Rain delay was at 7:46, and John Lennon just comes out throwing a strike. So I've got a rain delay right now of 37 minutes. Jason Bartlett, the hitter, bounced out to Jerry Hairston at third, first time up, and the count's now 1-2. Lennon gets a pop-up. It's out of play to the right side, and baseball is back on.
I mean, with that rain delay, we're just on normal pace for a normal game. This game is absolutely flying.
There is some other weather to the southwest of us, but it doesn't look nearly as serious as anything that went roaring through here an hour ago. Lennon goes high and tight to Bartlett. John has retired the first 10 men he's faced. Power hitting Ryan Ludwig is next. And a 2-2 to Bartlett. By the way, since we left you, the Phillies have taken a 2-1 lead at New York over the Mets. They're in the 5th inning there. And the Reds have a run at Atlanta against Tommy Hanson, 1-0 Cincinnati. Three and 2 to Bartlett with thunder still rumbling in the distance, and Jason Bartlett just stands there and watches that go right by. Strikeout number 4 for John Lannon.
I don't know what he's looking for right here. Maybe not a fastball right down the middle, but John Lannon, 87 miles an hour. Right down the heart of the plate. Jason Bartlett taking it.
That's on the Kinetic pitch track. Kinetic North America providing world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers. Next up is Ludwig, who bounced out to Desmond first time up. Ludwig last year, in a move that was kind of controversial in St. Louis, was hitting .281 for the Cardinals. when they traded him to the Padres, part of a 3-team deal involving St. Louis, Texas, and San Diego. And then in the last 59 games, he hit just .211 for the Padres. An all-star 3 years ago when he hit 37 homers and drove in 113. Tough ballpark in San Diego, though, to hit for a lot of power. Lennon goes high and tight. 3-1.
And he's starting to heat up, too. He's hitting 9 of his last 11 games, .352, 18 for 51. So while a lot of these averages for the Padres probably aren't where they would like them, there's a lot of them that are heading north.
On the inside corner, 3-2. That'll be a fastball high, and the Padres have their first base runner. It comes with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Memorial Day is Monday against the Phillies at 1:05. There are special ticket discounts with food and beverage credit. The team will wear their blue patriotic uniforms with stars and stripes, the curly W. Nationals.com/patriotic. Some restrictions apply. Check it out online. There is nothing like a national holiday in our nation's capital, and we've got it for you. Nats Phils Monday. We should have a big crowd for that one.
Big crowd with the best unis in baseball.
Jorge Cantu popped out down the right field line to Danny Espinosa, racing for it first time. Lennon's breaking ball just misses. Cantu, big strong guy, 6'3", 207. And he bounces one left side. Cut off by Hairston. Short throw. Waiting for it, Espinosa. Good hitters coming up in Worth, Morse, and Ramos. And hats off to Lennon for being ready. Two leading strikeout teams in baseball. So is the golden sombrero symbolic? I don't know.
How can the guy with the sombrero know where he's going? Somebody help him out.
That's a real good question. Bottom of the 4th, Jason Worth. 41 pitches for Clayton Richard. Through the first 3 innings, Worth flied to center first time, and he'll take that one low, 2-0. Nationals have 2 hits. A Morse rocket through the second base hole first time, and then a bunt by Bernardina in the 3rd. Jason will take a fastball in there.
And that's one of those you turn to home plate umpire Ed Hickox and you say, is that as low as you're going? And when you turn around and talk to the umpire, there's a way to do it. You get a borderline pitch, you ask him, is that as far outside as we're going tonight? Is that as low as we're going tonight? So you know as a hitter, you have to cover that pitch with 2 strikes.
Which he does to foul it off to the right side. Working quickly, he has Worth reaching for that one. And a simple play for Jason Bartlett. AT&T trivia, 4th inning. With Morse walking in. Did you know he's homered in 3 straight games for the 2nd time in his career? I'm sure we will tell you when shortly. By the way, the Nationals media guide this year referred to him as the secret slugger after he hit 15 and drove in 41 in 98 games in part-time play last year. 266 at-bats and 15 home runs. He rockets one to left, and it is going to be caught by Ludwig because he was playing so deep. If Michael Morse is not locked in, that ball's a double, but they are playing him so deep right now, FP, because of how hard he's hitting the ball.
And that ball was absolutely spanked. I mean, check out the swing from Michael Morse. He's been getting the great extension out front. See that right there? He got the long levers. He catches it out in front, drives the ball. Good follow through. Let's listen to it.
I mean, that's Ludwig playing right in front of the track. Didn't have to go far.
Well, that's what happens when you hit 3 home runs and you're heavily scouted.
I'm telling you, we're having a lightning show right over the top of the ballpark. There's a ground ball from Ramos to Bartlett, and this thing is into the 5th inning.
Well, let's have one with the white unis in the ballpark. What do you say, partner?
Mother Nature is the star of the show with the pitchers right now. Family at the ballpark tonight, having a wonderful time, dodging some raindrops, watching a tight ball game. Michael Morse, remember we told you 3 homers, consecutive games, 2nd time in his career. Ryan Zimmerman holds the all-time club record. He's done it in 4 consecutive games. August 3rd to 7th of 09, and then about a month and a half later, Michael did it in September. The Nats picked him up in June of 09 for Ryan Langerhans from Seattle, and those 3 homers he hit in a row in September were the only 3 he hit for the Nats all year.
I want to see that go into Trivia Fact 3, Trivia Fact 4. Maybe just keep it rolling throughout the whole game.
Took Lannon a while, and now an out call at first, and the Padres are not going to be happy about this. Cameron Maybin, and here comes Buddy Black again. And first base umpire Ed Rapuano is walking right toward him. That took John Lennon an extra count to get that ball out of his hand. And the umpire's doing most of the talking here.
Eddie Rapuano thinking he's going to have a nice, easy night at first base. Just, check out some fans in the stands, make a few calls at first. He's had a couple of tough ones so far, a couple of bangers. And generally speaking, you listen for the sound of the foot hitting the base and the sound of the ball hitting the glove, and that's what you're looking for. Let's see if he got this one right, because he definitely missed the first one.
Oof.
And Eddie Raps is 0 for 2 tonight.
Yep, I got to think he's 0 for 2, and both of them in favor of the Nats. Well, I can imagine what they're talking about on the Padre telecast. A ball club like ours, hungry for hits. And sometimes they just won't give them to you, even when you get them. Chase Headley, the hitter. And he bounced out to shortstop first time up. Buddy Black is not happy. And he has a reason. He's gone 0 for 2 on plays at first base. That's a pitch tailing down and away from Headley. Switch hitting third baseman who's only hit 1 home run this year. 2 career RBIs against John Lannon.
Yeah, Roger Bernardino in the third inning, clearly out on his bunt, called safe. And you look at Maybin right there, safe and called out. So the Nats catch 2 breaks tonight.
Yeah, Michael Morse's foot might have been off the bag on that play as well. Almost a carbon copy and total reversal of what happened to the Nats in New York. On a 2-2, that's a clean hit up the middle. And John Lannon will pitch 1 out into the 5th inning before he gives up his first base hit.
And he's kept everything down in the strike zone, had a good tempo going. You look at the pitch right here, just a center cut fastball. Not a whole lot of location. Headley just taking it back where it came from.
One on, one out. Rob Johnson, the catcher. From Butte, Montana. They got him from Seattle for a player to be named later, or cash, back in December. He had 191 in 61 games for the Mariners last year, originally drafted by them. Another ball player out of that talent-rich University of Houston program. Saddleback Junior College in Mission Viejo before that. He tried to bunt his way aboard first time, and Lannon threw him out.
And Chase Headley at first base has good speed. I remember last year, a lot of stolen bases. This year, 5 stolen bases, caught 1 time. So got to keep your eye on him, keep him honest. He's one of those guys that will take advantage of opportunity if you don't pay attention to him. And partner, I think you said it earlier, the Padres, lead the National League with 15 stolen bases. 50 stolen bases.
Yeah, they're 50 out of 63 this year.
So they run a lot. They're aggressive. And I think you have to be when you're not swinging the bats. You have to create opportunity for your offense.
So they're hitting 265 on the road, and they're batting 228. That means they're hitting about 180 when they play at Petco Park. Crazy numbers. And a 1-2 pitch coming. Lannon gets a grounder. Hot shot, Hairston. Relay, Espinosa. And the ball gets away from Michael Morse. I think they had the runner at first, and Michael just didn't make clean contact with it.
Little double pump by Jerry Hairston at third base, but they still had time to get Johnson and catch it running slow. You see him double pump right there. Danny Espinosa, good job of getting rid of that. And Ed Rapuano had it locked and loaded and was ready to call him out. Morse couldn't hang on.
5-4 fielder's choice. That keeps the inning alive for Alberto Gonzalez. John got him on a ground ball to Desmond first time. The infielders have been busy. 9 ground ball outs now of the first 14 recorded by John Lannon. That's a great breaking ball down and in that had the right-handed hitter all locked up. Short lead at first by Johnson. And Gonzalez at Tapper. Lannon's been busy. Does he have another one? Plenty of time. John Lennon, 10 ground ball outs in 5 innings of work. Espinosa, Hairston, Bixler coming up. Stauffer, 0-3 on the year, but a good ERA. He's given up 13 earned runs his last 3 starts. For the Nats, Jordan Zimmerman needs to get back on that W side at 2-5. Also a solid ERA of 3.28 in the month of May. Nats Extra, 12:30. FP and I join you at 1. First pitch, 1:05. Who's going to score first? Espinosa, Hairston, and Bixler for the Nats in the bottom of the 5th inning. Let's have a look at our PNC minor league report. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC for the achiever in you. And right now they're saying that Chris Marrero is playing great defense at Syracuse, along with some pretty good numbers. Not awesome, not out of this world numbers, just solid. He is a former first-round draft choice back in 2006. He was the Nats' first #1 draft choice after Ryan Zimmerman.
And I'll tell you this, based on experience, when you see the major league team scuffling offensively and you're in AAA, I mean, you notice.
You're keeping an eye on it.
You're keeping an eye on it, and you're saying, man, if I could just hit and put up some big numbers here, and they need help up there. So those guys are keeping track.
That is well hit by Espinosa. See you later. 1-0 Washington. And he will tie Ryan Zimmerman for the rookie RBI lead in the first 50 games of his rookie year. That's number 28 on home run number 7.
Well, that's when you go right to John Lanning and you say, there's your run, buddy, make it stick. Danny Espinosa, great job. We like the power from the right side and the swing from the right side. He's been heating up left-handed as well. A short, compact swing right to the baseball.
Right off the back wall of the bullpen. Exmo brought to you by the 2011 Jeep Compass. And the home run brought to you by Danny Espinosa, number 7. Next up is Hairston. Richard gives up his 6th homer of the year in 57 innings.
And there's no better feeling for a hitter in baseball. You square one up like that, you don't feel anything on your back. I mean, you hear the sound, it's very loud in your ear, you don't feel any vibration, and you absolutely pure one. It's the best feeling in the world.
Danny Espinosa, 6 homers in 28 games last September, and now he has 7 in his first 50 games here. Pretty good breaking ball to Hairston, and the count's even 2-2. That got this nice crowd into an excited state. Official ball game, of course, now with the home team up, bottom of the 5th inning, whatever happens with the weather. And Hairston will hack one back to the screen to stay alive. That's number 42 for the Nats. Number 36 given up by the Padres. Up and away barely. 3-2. Hairston gets under one to left. That'll play for Ryan Ludwig. First out, bottom of the fifth. Well, things have cooled off here a bit. The air's a lot different than it was when we threw first pitch at 7:06. I mean, it was so hot and muggy today. The ball was flying out of here during BP. So Danny Espinosa, there was nothing cheap about that blast. Bixler showed bunt. He drew in Headley, the third baseman. Brian flied to center field first time.
And he's been working on things. His approach left-handed has been much cleaner, especially with 2 strikes. He's fouled off a lot of balls lately. Then he jumps on the other side of the plate and hits a dinger. I mean, nice job of making adjustments.
Hey, how about this, FP? 47 at bats right-handed, 6 home runs, 6 of his 7 from the right side. Left side, 1 home run and 120 at bats.
Well, he's definitely got more pop right-handed. That goes without saying. But, you know, a lot of times we've talked about it. We've broken down his swing a lot. From the right side, your top hand is your dominant hand. It's the hand you throw with, so it's stronger.
That one almost ate up Alberto Gonzalez. And look at Bixler hustling down the line. Alberto got him by less than a step. 2 outs.
Yeah, good swing by Bixler. Great play by Gonzalez. I mean, he's known for his defense. Watch the smooth hands, the quick hands, also the soft hands. You can't make that play unless your hands are soft on a ball hit that hard.
John Lannon, the hitter, put a charge into one first time and flied out about 370 out to center field. I'll tell you, both of these guys, they get the baseball from their catcher or from the umpire, and they are ready to rock. Fastball right down the middle. Lannon will face Richard when we come back, top of the 6th. But the Nats have the lead as Danny Espinosa hits one right about 400 to the back of the bullpen. Danny Espinosa. Switch to Fios, a network ahead. To learn more, visit Verizon.com/getFios. Here's our Verizon Fios today in baseball history. May 27th of 68. 2 new teams. The Montreal Expos, who are now the Washington Nationals, and the San Diego Padres, who are now the San Diego Padres. They've been to the World Series twice in their history. Expos made it to the playoffs once. They had 14 winning records, did Montreal, in 36 years. And in '94, they had won 20 of 23 games by August 20th. FP, they were 32 games over 500, and the lockout occurred.
Yeah, that was the team with Larry Walker and right, Marquise Grissom in center. Just a fantastic ball club when you talk about, John Wetland in the bullpen, Mel Rojas. All of a sudden the strike came, and that was that.
Lennon to Richard, 0-2. Big breaking ball for the strikeout. John Lennon's 5th K of the night. Padres, by the way, been to 2 World Series in '84. They ran into that Tiger team that won 104 games after sweeping Kansas City in the ALCS. That's what the Tigers did. Padres had beaten the Cubs after trailing 2-0. The famous ground ball that Leon Durham missed that led to bad things. Then in '98 they ran into the Yankees, who were just coming into their prime as a late '90s dynasty. They had beaten Houston and Atlanta in the playoffs. Nicely done for the leaping Jerry Hairston. 2 outs.
And you had to get rid of it because DeNorfia can run. So you got the chopper at third. The alarm's going off in his head. He knows he's got to hurry up. So a little air time on the chopper, grabs it. What does he do? Get rid of it quick. He got a good runner. Throws right on the money. Nice play.
Jerry 244 with his brother, a teammate with the Padres last year. Hairston hit 10 homers, drove in 50 in 119 games for Bud Black. And here's Jason Bartlett, the shortstop. And there's a bouncing ball. 2 hops, Desmond. How about John Lennon? 12 ground ball outs in 6 innings. Top of the order coming up, 1-0 Nats. The order for the Nats. Take the Nats with you wherever you go this season. You can subscribe to MLB.tv. Every Nationals game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite device. To get more details, Nationals.com. You can order right there. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Bernardina, Desmond, and Worth against Clayton Richard, who's pitching well enough to win a ball game tonight. Only one smudge on his ledger tonight. The home run by Espinoza. He has given up a couple of singles. Bernardino, one of them that has the corner infielders playing pretty shallow. Front door breaking ball inside, 2-0.
Well, that's the one thing you could do when you do get a bunt down. You're successful at it. You make them come in. It opens up holes. You look at the holes on the right side, holes on the left side. They have to play in now to respect your speed and the fact that you can bunt. Now you just hit some ground balls. You got all kinds of holes.
Taking all the way on 3-0. He'll be in attack mode now with Desmond on deck. Too low, and that's as good as a hit for the Nats to get that guy aboard. Nationals have their 4th base runner of the night. First walk issued by Clayton Richard. Desmond, fly ball to right, ground ball back to the pitcher. Nats would obviously like to see some more contact out of Ian. This is the 50th game of the year. He has struck out 50 times. But he is still hitting over 300 this past week. Bernardina draws a throw. As we mentioned earlier, he's 6 for 6. Any reading on what kind of move Richard has?
It looks pretty basic, just straightforward. I mean, nothing special. We talked about his delivery. He's quick to the plate. He has a very quick tempo. And you see right there, good trip by Rob Johnson. He's going to go out there and say, look, hey, we got a good base runner out there, but I need you to focus with me. You're worrying about him. We can't have your focus go to first base. I need you right here with me. Let's concentrate on the hitter. And that's the effect that a true leadoff hitter has, folks. You get a guy like Roger Bernardina on first base. He's a threat to steal all the time. It changes the way the game is played. That's why you love to hit behind a guy with speed.
2-0 pitch is outside. 3-0. Now here's where Ian Desmond and the Nats have to be smart. Big power guy on deck. Another one after him. Clayton Richard opening that door a bit here in the 6th inning. And Desmond swings at the first pitch and flies out to center. First pitch, I mean, after it goes 3-0.
It's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. A lot of close plays at first base tonight. Let's check them out. You look right here, Ian Desmond going away from the play. Great throw. Watch the stretch by Michael Morris. Get out there. Keep your foot on the bag. Nice job. This play right here, Gonzalez, Bernardina, clearly safe. And John Lannon, the good play at first base. And Maben was clearly out. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
You know, that might have been some of the most accurate, inaccurate reporting I've ever heard.
Yeah, if you could tell, there was a lot of sarcasm in that Coors Light Freeze Cam. Eddie Rapp's having a tough night at first base. He's a good umpire, folks. He just missed a couple of bangers.
Is Bernardina more apt to go with one out? Does Jason Worth like a runner going while he's concentrating on the pitcher?
Well, it doesn't matter what he likes. You got to get a guy in scoring position. You got one run on the board, a guy that can fly at first. I never minded it as a hitter. I wasn't a power guy, but it creates holes. It creates opportunities for you to get a hit.
Hey, anytime the infielders are moving, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? Clayton goes off speed, misses outside. He's been behind every hitter in this inning.
And I always like the fact that, you know what, I know that the pitcher is thinking about the base runner on first base, that his concentration isn't 100% on me. So that would tell me as a hitter, hey, I got a good chance of him leaving something right out over the plate.
2-0.
Or getting into a good hitting count, like Jason Worth is right now.
There's a guy who's locked in. Michael Morse has hit the ball hard twice tonight. Unrewarded the second time on a bomb to the track and left.
That's a head scratcher, though, with Ian Desmond swinging 3-0. You got a guy on the ropes who's struggling to throw strikes. I don't know what that was all about. To be honest with you, I'm all about being aggressive, but
there are times to let them put you on, huh?
I mean, that's just a case where, you know, Ian Desmond's hitting 230. It's not like he's a guy hitting 330 with 10, 15 home runs and you just let him loose. He's a two-hole hitter. He's 3-0. This guy's starting to lose it a little bit. I don't understand why there was a green light. You're going to get the same pitch 3-1 that you would have gotten 3-0. Maybe even gets a chance to start the runner on 3-1.
Bernardina, big lead. That'll draw another throw. That is close. All three. Jason Worth's last home run a week ago in Baltimore. 3-2 with one out. Bernardina's got to be running.
Got to start the runner now. He didn't get a jump.
Yeah.
Richard is quick pitching everybody.
He is. Bernardina was just walking off the bag, and all of a sudden Richard was coming home, and Roger had no time to start.
Well, that's where as a base runner you have to get out there and you have to know that. Get your sign, establish your lead, get set. If the guy's going to quick pitch you have the responsibility to get out there. See him getting out there quick this time. Now he's ready.
And he draws a throw. Yeah, he was just hopping off the bag as Richard started his motion last time.
But get back out there right now. Don't wait so you're in between. Get out there. Now he's got plenty of time to get set, get comfortable, and get a read.
He didn't get any kind of read at all. He was standing there, and Worth flies right field line. That's a foul ball caught by Denorfia. 2 outs. It'll be up to Michael Morse after the leadoff walk now. It's been another good, solid week for the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. The boys will be back with you Tuesday because Memorial Day is Monday. Live interviews, reports from the ballpark, BP look-ins, roundtable discussions. Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Dave Johnson, Mel Antonin, Tom Olasso, all those guys together from 5:30 to 6:30 next week, Tuesday through Friday. Michael Morse, base hit, right center first time. Laser shot to the track and left last time, caught by Ludwig. Morse got time before the throw to first. By the way, one thing to keep in mind, if Michael Morse would happen to single right at Ryan Ludwig and Bernardina thinks about going to third, Ryan Ludwig leads the National League with 7 outfield assists already this year. That's more than anybody in baseball. They go off speed to Morse in the first pitch.
And check out the defense for Michael Morse, the way they're set up. Shading him opposite in the outfield. Check out the gap right there, open for business.
Yeah,
looked like a bolt of lightning that just hit the field, but you get the point. Left center field, and we've seen him hit a lot of balls there.
Hey, he hits one out there, Bernardina will score. Another changeup. Bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Washington after a 47-minute rain delay. Wilson Ramos on deck, batting 5th tonight. Morse will take one way outside, and Bernardina's back quickly. The count's 2-1.
You know, I don't know if this is a case of Clayton Richard just not finding the strike zone, but for me, it's the fact that Roger Bernardina's at first. Look how he's changing this inning. Like Jason Worth in a hitter's count. Ian Desmond in a hitter's count. All of a sudden, Michael Morse in a hitter's count, and he's worried about Bernardina at first base.
That's a breaking ball, 3-1, so they've thrown him 4 pitches, and 3 of them have been off speed.
And if you're wondering why Roger Bernardina's still at first base, I don't think he has a read on Clayton Richards' move. But there's times when if you're as fast as he is, you just go first move and beat the relay. You know, Cantu is going to catch the ball. If you get a big enough lead and he's off late again, you can beat the relay throw.
Unbelievable play. Alberto Gonzalez out on a close play at second, called by Brian Onora. And the Nats are gone in the 6th on a fantastic backhand stop by the former Nat, Alberto Gonzalez. Michael Morse is a tough out these days. In a ball game like this, and Alberto Gonzalez just picked himself a beauty.
Yeah, watch the last hop. It hops right up into his glove. Just a great play of selling out right there. Getting to your knees, making a great throw to your shortstop. Bartlett covering. That's a lot of range. It doesn't get much better than that.
And upon further review, Brian O'Nora got it right. Bang, bang play. Defense got the out. Only one hit for the Padres. Chase Headley, a one-out single up the middle in the fifth. John Lennon, 12 ground ball outs, 68 pitches in 6 innings. So he's right at 11 pitches per frame. Tough inning here, 3, 4, and 5. Ludwig the first one. Off speed, a beauty. That's his breaking ball that he took some off.
And breaking ball been fantastic all night long for John Lennon.
Then he goes with a fastball. And he's hit 90 a couple of times, 92 once tonight. So John's had good zip and good stuff. Ludwig, big, strong right-handed batter, late on that one. Another big, strong guy, Jorge Cantu. John Lennon on the year, 2-5, 5.03 ERA, making his 11th start. He had been hittable until tonight. Opponent's batting average tumbling as well, starting the night at 3.03. Jams Ludwig and gets a fly ball to left. That's a great pitch on a power hitter. Tied him up. Easy catch for Bixler. A reminder, Sunday, 1:35, third game of this series. First 10,000 kids 12 and under receive a kids bat and ball set presented by all of us here at Masson. Tickets start at just $10. Nationals.com/tickets. Don't forget, it's another Harris Teeter Family Fun Pack Day at the park. Here's Cantu, 0 for 2. Strike one. 10 first pitch strikes in a row by John Lennon. That ball is hammered, hooking, short of the foul pole and out of play right down in the corner. Strike two.
Good location, bad height. He's trying to go into Cantu. And I like the idea of the pitch. He just didn't get it down the strike zone. But see, when you go inside like that, that's a tough pitch to keep fair if you're a right-handed hitter.
Gets a ground ball to short. How many will Desmond throw out tonight? 2 down here in the 7th on ground ball out number 13 by Lennon. Cameron Maben will be next. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
A 6th ground ball to Ian Desmond tonight. You love games like that as a shortstop. Keep them coming. You're in the game. You're in the flow. It's almost like taking infield.
Doesn't hurt to mix in the occasional pop-up here and there. Cameron Maben and Michael Morse goes backhand. 7th inning stretch time at Nationals Park. 1-0 Washington. card dealers.
Nationals leading the Padres by a score of 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the inning. Now, last season, Matt Stairs was a member of the 2010 Padres team that won 90 games. They surprised a lot of people, and Matt weighs in on their success.
I think Buddy done a great job over there, really concentrate on defense and pitching. We battled a lot of one-run games, two-run games the whole year, and I think what we did last year was we really relied on our starters to get through 6. And then they had Gregerson, Adams, and Bell. 7, 8, 9. That was unbelievable. One of the best in bullpens.
Matt said, too, that doing the little things really made a big difference for the Padres last year. And again, it was pitching and defense that won them the most games. He also said it was great to play for Bud Black. He was really a player's manager, and that helped, too. Bob, FP?
6 homers, 16 RBIs for the 2010 Padres for Matt Stairs. Ramos swinging early. Mabin catching it. As mentioned, Buddy Black's team finished 2 games last year behind the eventual world champion Giants.
Well, they played with a chip on their shoulder last year. Talking to David Eckstein about it, they developed an attitude in spring training that was us against the world. They were the little guys beating everybody, and that's the way they played all season long. I don't think this year's Padre team has that feel yet, but last year's team, talking to Stairs, talking to Hairston, they wanted to go out. They wanted to face the best pitcher and beat him. And they were digging the fact that the whole league was talking about how they were hanging tough. When experts picked them to finish 29th out of 30 teams, they wore that like a badge all season long.
It was interesting how the Padres did it last year, too. They were 15th in the league in hitting. Only the Pirates were lower, 12th in runs and homers. But they were second to the Mets in steals, so they were a running ball club. But they won it because of that 3.39 ERA and their #1 rated defense in the league.
They had 20 shutouts from their pitching staff last season.
Wow. And they made 72 errors in 162 games. So they played the equivalent of 90 errorless games last year.
And I think the big factor is they learned how to win one-run baseball games. They were 10 games over 500 in one-run games. You do that, you feel like you're going to win every night. And how many times last year did you turn on the highlights late at night and see the Padres bouncing around on home plate with a walk-off win? They believed in themselves.
They won as many games on the road as they did at home, 45 each. That's a good baseball man right there, Buddy Black. Long time on Mike Scioscia's staff in Anaheim. And his 5th year at the helm of the Padres. 3-2 to Danny Espinosa, who hit one a mile last time up. That's a good at bat. Wasn't biting on the breaking ball in. And Danny's on for the 2nd time tonight. 2nd walk by Clayton Richard.
Time for a Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Let's go back to the 5th inning and check out the only run of this baseball game. A solo shot by Danny Espinosa from the right side. 6 of his 7 home runs have been right-handed. There's number 6. He absolutely got all of that. That's where the big boys go. That, folks, is a Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Here's Jerry Hairston.
Maybe a little action right here. A little hit and run action. Got a guy that can handle the bat. Good base runner out there. How many times have we seen Jim Riggleman do it this year? Let me try to get a little 1st and 3rd piece and put your runner in motion. They are baffled by Clayton Richards' move to first base tonight. Danny Espinosa not picking it up right there. He's talking to Dan Radisson. And it doesn't matter what the first base coach tells you, you have to see it for yourself as a base runner. You have to get out there in your lead and witness it yourself. He could say, hey, when he does this, and he's coming over, when he does that, but you have to see it for yourself firsthand.
That'll even the count 1-1. This next pitch could determine what the Nats are doing with the base runner. If it's 2-1,
well, you
might be fun.
You could do it right here, too.
And Hairston was pumping on a pitch outside. 1 on, 1 out, 1 and 2 to Hairston. And Jerry will go upstairs and stay alive.
Sometimes with lefties, their best move is to the plate. And what do I mean by that? They look like they're coming to first, but they go home. I'm seeing a lot of the Nationals base runners tonight taking that jab step back to first base while Clayton Richard goes home. That tells me that it looks like he's coming over to first base when he does indeed go home.
Runner is going, and to protect him, and Hairston has to with 2 strikes, fouls 1 away.
Here's his move from the first base dugout going home. See that? He's looking right at you right there. And sometimes you have to go in the left-hander's face. You call it going in his face. That means if he's looking at you, he's going home, so you steal in his face. If he looks home, he's coming to first base with his move. So he could be a book head guy. That's what we call. You got to do the opposite of what he's telling you.
Hairston didn't take too long before asking for time, and Ed Hickox gave it to him.
And I always wondered why every single lefty wouldn't just sit there in the mirror and work on his move to where it's a weapon for you when you get a base runner out there.
Runner holding this time, and Hairston pops it up right center for Maben. 2 outs.
Jerry Hairston is arguing with Ed Hickox. He didn't even run on that ball. He's standing at home plate, and I think he quick pitched him, and he's out of the game.
Hairston ejected by Ed Hickox.
He's saying he was out of the box trying to get in the box. He walked in the box and the pitch was on the way. We saw Jerry Hairston get a hit like that this year. And Clayton Richard has been doing that all night long to Nationals hitters, been quick pitching them. That's one of those things where you got to get in the box, hold your hand up. He called timeout, didn't get it. We've seen him do that this year. You have to be granted timeout.
And Jerry Hairston is still going after Ed Hickox. He returned to argue again. Bo Porter out, Riggleman out to protect him. The umpire does not have to give you time.
But
John McLaren right there.
He works so fast. He's been quick pitching hitters all night long. And that's one of those where when you have 2 strikes, becomes a huge deal. With 1 strike or no strikes, whatever. Call it a strike, I'll get back in there and I'll figure it out. But when you have 2 strikes and you're fighting for your life up there, and you look up and the guy's already into his motion, and that's why he called timeout. He's trying to get timeout. And he must have said the magic word, and Jim Riggleman, you see his reaction, just a hair late on trying to save his third baseman.
I would imagine Alex Cora is grabbing his glove in the dugout.
Riggleman almost got a right hook from Ed Hickox.
And here's the number 8 hitter, Brian Bixler, now with 2 outs.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I remember that replay earlier when Jerry was out of the box, hustled back in, and lined it right up the middle. It is a request for time. It's not calling timeout. Only the umpire can do that.
Check out Riggleman here. He almost wears it from Ed Hickox as he's throwing Hairston out of the game. He ducked a serious right hook.
Runner going. Off-speed pitch. Good pitch on which to run. And a steal of second by Danny Espinoza. And he is 4 out of 5 this year.
That's a good job of stealing second, but he just took the bat out of Brian Bixler's hands. Now you pitch around him to get to John Lannon. It's tough in that 7 hole. You want to be aggressive, but with the 8th place hitter up, now first base is open, and you can walk him if you want.
They will.
I hit 7th for a long time in Montreal, and I was never able to steal. I never had the green light just because of this situation right here.
By the way, Brian Bixler has been walked twice this year, intentionally both times, because each instance in the number 8 spot. John Lannon has 5 career RBIs. Maybe he'll just go up there and try to lay the bat across the strike zone and bump one down the left side. does not have an RBI this year. Outfield well around to the left. You might say that Ludwig's playing him a little surprisingly deep in left field for where he might be.
Well, you wonder if the first time up when he hit the ball deep to center field, Cameron Maben went way back on it if he pushed the outfield back.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Because really, you figured Ludwig would be 15, 20 feet in from where he is right now. Any kind of little flare over the infield would drop in front of him. You know, when you're talking about two low-scoring ball clubs, you're thinking about all the possibilities sitting out there in which to pick up one run that makes such a huge difference. Strike two to John. By the way, Richard is due to bat fourth if it goes that far in the top of the 8th inning. They've had their bullpen ready for a while. This could be it for him. Lannon does stay alive.
Good battle, good fight, foul it off.
And a good crowd appreciates it. They're clapping. 21,024 here tonight. Lannon pulls the ball. This thing's got some carry on it, and it is caught over the shoulder by Denorfia on the track.
That was 2 runs.
John Lannon hitting the ball hard 2 out of 3 times tonight. It remains 1-0. With these two clubs getting together, 1 run on 4 hits, the only blast of the night. Danny Espinosa, Clayton Richard, and John Lannon matching each other. Not exactly pitch for pitch as far as the count, but the results are the same.
Well, it's been the John Lannon show all night long. He's been establishing his off speed in the strike zone, great tempo going. Clayton Richards had a great tempo going too. You look at the curveball; it's been above average for John Lannon. He's got a great feel for it tonight. He's done a little bit at the plate, too. I mean, he smoked one to center field his first at-bat, and this one to right field. A little extension. He gets the attention of everybody in the Nats dugout. They're checking it out. Denorfia going back on the track with the wall approaching, doing a little Willie Mays basket catch, and that took 2 runs away from the Nationals. That ball was absolutely smoked.
Exmo brought to you by Ram Trucks, designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks they've ever built. Ram, Alex Cora, third base. He's batting for Hairston. Roger Bernardina goes from center to left, and Rick Ankiel's in center field, and Ankiel will be batting in the number 8 spot. So here we go, top 8. Headley, Johnson, Gonzalez for the Padres. John Lannon has gone 7 for the first time this year.
1-run game, 8th inning, leadoff man's key. Got to get him out.
Breaking ball, he'll get a fly ball to center. Ankiel turns one way, then the other, and he will get there in time. Oh, brother. Off the bat of the right-hander, that ball, I think Rick thought it was going to hook, and then it sliced to the other side, and he had to make a serious adjustment.
You come into a major league game, guess what? The ball's going to find you every single time. And watch the route from Rick Ankiel right here. Not probably how he wanted to draw it up. Headley gets all of this one. Rick Ankiel thinking that's a routine fly. Well, maybe not. I better get back on this one. He does the karaoke, does the fly ball dance. Whew. He takes out a bite of the wall.
And that is truly an instance of him running into the wall.
You know, that's one of those things where you misjudge it as a center fielder, but then all of a sudden your athletic ability takes over, and that's the case for Rick Ankiel right there.
Yeah. How many ex-pitchers make that play?
Not the best route in the world, but he got the job done. Magellan would have been proud of that route. He was all over the place, but hey, you come into a game, the ball's going to find you every single time.
Catcher Rob Johnson, Tyler Clippard warming up. And that ball's inside. And they just corrected the batting order. Ankiel is batting 7th and Cora 8th. Well, maybe Alex will get involved in a nice easy ground ball now after the adventuring center. Kind of like that. 2 outs.
You come into a major league game, the ball's going to find you. So Ankiel and Cora get tested immediately. Alex Cora's always ready. Have glove will travel.
Yeah.
Probably not his favorite position, third base, but he's done a really nice job over there defensively this year for the Nats.
Knowing Alex as we do, his favorite position is the one he's playing at the moment, and he'll give it everything. That's a scorcher into right and a base hit for Alberto Gonzalez. We saw a lot of that. When Gonzo goes the other way, he's a pretty good hitter. And now the Padres will pinch hit. Nats killer in this ballpark when he was with Colorado, Brad Haupt, who has a career slugging percentage of .750 in this ballpark. First, they will pinch run Logan Forsythe at first, who they called up today to replace Orlando Hudson, who went on the DL with a strained right hamstring. And for Hudson, that's his second time on the disabled list here in the month of May.
Is Steve McCaddy going to go out there and go over Brad Haupt? He's hot since April 25th. 29 for 90, 322, 14 runs, 8 doubles, 4 homers. So, folks, Brad Haupt is on fire. You got to be careful right here if you're John Lannon. If you're in the Nats outfield, you play no doubles, nothing over your head. You can't let anything get in the gap.
And that's how much they think of Haupt, left-handed pinch hitter against a left-handed pitcher. And Brad Haupt was one part of that really good Colorado offense of a couple of years ago. They pretty much just cut him loose. Tampa Bay signed him to a minor league free agent contract end of August last year. Drew Storen is up. Tyler Clippard has been up. This may be John Lannon's last batter, no matter which way it goes. We hope it's with an out. 2 outs, runner at first in the 8th. Haupt takes a breaking ball in there. He's 0 for 4 as a pinch hitter this year, but 4 homers and 13 RBIs. 124 career homers in 7+ years with the Rockies. Short time with Tampa Bay, and now a Padre.
And you throw that same pitch and expand the strike zone away. Make him chase out there.
He goes with the heater away, 92.
Verizon on the pitch track. Let's check out that 92-mile-an-hour heater. So the first pitch hammer away, goes with a heater off the plate. Now maybe even expand it more. Keep going out there.
Verizon 4G LTE with the pitch track. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. John Lennon has spent his entire evening excelling on the pitch track. Does he have another out in him here in the 8th inning? A little bit upstairs.
And that's not where John Lennon wanted this pitch. I mean, it almost comes back for a strike. Looks like it's the top of the zone. Maybe he's earned that call, but I thought it was up before we showed the replay.
Yeah, could have gone either way. Lennon challenges him, topping out at 92 on several occasions.
And how many times have we seen John Lennon strike out lefties this year with that big sweeping curveball away? Kind of the slurvy curve he throws. It's his out pitch against lefties. See if he goes to it right here in the 2-2 count.
Tying run on in a 1-run game. Man, there are no strikes at the top of the zone.
You got to be careful in a 1-run ball game with the top of the zone. Those are the kind of balls, if they're hit, they go far.
You just wonder if Lennon doesn't get Hop. Is it Storen or Clippard? Right-handed batter on deck. Runner going. That's way inside. 2 on, 2 out. That's John Lennon's second walk of the night. And Jim Riggleman is going to make his move. Is it Clippard or is it Storen? This is John Lennon's deepest pitching in a ball game since 2 years ago, July, when he pitched a complete game against the Mets. A groundswell of applause getting underway. This will be nice when he walks off. Jason Marquis, a high five for him within a high strike call of pitching 8 great innings.
He pitched fantastic tonight. John Lanham was awesome. And now here's Drew Storen on for the 4-out save. We asked Jim Riggleman the other night in Milwaukee, did you think about Drew Storen for the 4-out save? Tying run on second base. Well, he thought about it enough tonight to bring him in. Let's see what happens.
That was such a bizarre situation in Milwaukee when Drew came out the night before just to get some work. Ended up having to throw about 30 pitches. So even in routine outings to get some work sometimes in this game, things don't work out anywhere near what you hoped.
And Drew Storm with the fastball slider combination. We saw a changeup from him the other night. We'll see if he goes to it in this huge situation for the Nats.
This is a righty-righty matchup with Chris Denorfia. Second base, Forsythe, the pinch runner for Gonzalez, who walked. And then at first base, the lead run, Brad Haupt, who did walk. Gonzalez, by the way, singled, and then they pinch ran for him. Storm's first pitch on the corner, 96 for a strike.
96 out of bed, strike one, very important. Now you could use everything you got.
Even when the slider ends up in the middle of the plate, hard to hit.
A late break on this slider. Probably wanted it lower, but look at the pitch. Look at the action. Late movement. Denorfia on it. Now you're way ahead in the count. Make a pitch. Set something up. You got a lot of time to get this out.
Whew. How does a hitter take that on 0-2?
Because he was buckled. And the killer slider from Drew Storm. And check it out. Good spot, good 0-2 pitch. Just a little bit low and maybe a hair off the plate.
Another one. Inning over. Two stranded by the Padres. Into the bottom of the eighth. It's 1-0. Call the police. There's a killer slider on the loose.
And 1-0. Let's check out that pitch sequence from Drew Storm to Chris Denorfia. He goes with the first pitch fastball, 96 out of bed on the corner. Great location. A little bit of a hanger right there, but he gets a swing through strike on the slider. Just misses with an 0-2 slider. What does he do? Repeat. Buckle. Thanks for coming. Get your glove. Drew Storm, absolutely nasty. Gets the job done with the tying run on second, the winning run on first.
Logan Forsythe stays into play second base. And the new pitcher, longtime Houston Astro and then Arizona Diamondback, Chad Qualls. Always a good setup man, in some cases in his career a closer. He has 51 career saves. He is in a hold-'em situation here. 32-year-old right-hander against the top of the Nats order here in the bottom of the eighth. Roger Bernardino with a bunt, base hit, and a walk tonight. He's 1 for 2.
And Qualls pretty much fastball slider. He'll throw the fastball about 65% of the time, and the rest sliders. Went up there 90 to 92.
Yeah, he's always had a great arm. 2 division series with Houston, 1 with Tampa Bay, 2 LCS with the Astros, and he pitched in the '05 World Series against the White Sox. In 3 games, had a 1.69 ERA. Overshadowed a bit by the closer there in Houston. And Roger Bernardina is out on a 4-3 ground ball. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Be one with Hankook Tires. One out in the 8th, and Ian Desmond, the hitter. Strike 1 to Desmond. Tim Stauffer, Jordan Zimmerman tomorrow. 1:05 first pitch. Nats extra 12:30. Game 2 of the series. And of course, Qualls setting things up in Houston all that time for Brad Lidge during their heyday together. Setting things up now for Heath Bell, who the Nats would not at all mind not seeing in this series. One of the most intimidating right-handers in this league. You have the lead in the late innings, you can take Heath Bell right out of the equation unless he needs some work. Oh, and 2 to Desmond. That's a swing and a miss. Ball goes back to the wall, and they throw him out with the ball angled on the right side, foul territory. Well done by Rob Johnson. Two outs, bases empty for Jason Worth. Check out Masson Mobile Live. You can do it by texting Nationals to 29292 for alerts sent directly to your mobile phone. Message and data rates may apply. Worth all locked up. Did he avoid swinging? Yes, he did, says Ed Rapuano. By the way, in the 9th, 2, 3, and 4 for the Padres. Bartlett, Ludwig, and Cantu. There's that hard breaking ball. He'll throw that slider 89. That's an exceptionally hard breaking ball.
That looked like a wiffle ball.
Wouldn't you love to see Michael Morse bat in the 8th the way he's swinging? He's a tough luck 1 for 3 tonight. By the way, they're in the 9th in New York, and the Phillies have taken a 6-3 lead over the Mets. As Worth bounces at left side for Chase Headley, and this game is into the 9th inning. Beautiful night now in D.C. that the weather has passed, and it's all lit up at the White House. 9th inning straight ahead. Game losing streak, and Drew Storen will try to do that. The Nats down in Potomac, they had quite a night of weather. Make the short drive from D.C., discover the next great prospect as they defend their Carolina League Championship. 703-590-2311, PotomacNationals.com. Drew Storen has one out of the four he needs. Jason Bartlett, the shortstop, leads off. Left field, long drive. This game is tied. Chris Denorfia made the last out of the eighth. Jason Bartlett, his first home run of the year. And the teams have traded solo home runs. It's 1-1. And for Drew Storen, his first blown save.
You're thinking he's going to take a strike right here, but he goes ambush. First pitch fastball, middle in. You see where Wilson Ramos was setting up middle away. Missed his location, got it in. All of a sudden, John Landon had an 8-inning workout.
And the San Diego Padres avoid being shut out for the 10th time this year. Ryan Ludwig is next, and it doesn't get any easier right here. He goes up first pitch swinging. Desmond to his left. Took him a couple of extra hops to get rid of it, and he gets the out.
I mean, that's one of those things where Drew Storen's thinking Jason Bartlett's going to try to work a count. He's going to get into a count, trying to be leadoff man on. All of a sudden swings at a first pitch fastball and ties this ball game up.
Chris Denorfia, by the way, his 15th career home run in his 8th year. I'm sorry, not Denorfia, Bartlett. For Bartlett, his 30th career home run in 7 years. And the Padres, who don't hit a whole lot of them, only Houston has hit fewer, tie the game with a long ball here right down the line. That's a swing, and quickly 0-2. John Burnett starting to loosen up for the possibility of a 10th inning. The Nats do have 4, 5, and 6 due up. Bottom 9. And Storen blows away can 2. 2 outs. When things are rough, nothing's easy. Next up is Cameron Maybin. He's at 5 homers this year. Landon had him 0 for 3 tonight without a ball out of the infield. And Storen delivers 94 for a strike. Drew Storen was 9 for 9 in save opportunities. A buckling slider, no swing, says first base umpire Ed Rapuano. .95, strike 2.
And to Drew Storen's credit, he blew the save, but he's right back in the strike zone. A ground ball out, a strikeout to Cantu. We've seen a lot of closers come unglued. All of a sudden, it's not a save opportunity, and they know they've blown the save.
Ball game's only been in progress for about 2 hours and 13 minutes. 47-minute rain delay as we reach the 10 o'clock hour here in the 9th inning. 1-1 game on a couple of solo home runs. A swing and a miss on a slider way outside. Michael Morse, Wilson Ramos, Danny Espinosa. Nats try to win it in a moment.
Park, and that home run by Bartlett in the top of the ninth to tie it for San Diego. Johnny Holliday along with Ray Knight will be along with Nats Extra postgame in just a couple of minutes. Everybody feeling pretty good about this ball game, Ray. And one pitch, San Diego right back in it.
Well, that's the way it's gone, and you kind of expect that with these two ball clubs. Not a lot of offense and not denting the scoreboard much, but what a great game by John Lannon as he worked quickly. Most aggressive I've seen him work and throw to spots in a long, long time. As good a game as he's had in this season or any season that I can remember.
Well, let's see if the Nats can pull this out in the bottom of the ninth. It's up to Morse and Ramos and Espinosa to get things going. Let's send you back upstairs to Bob and FP.
Thank you, gentlemen. And a right-hander who can throw extremely hard is Mike Adams. As a Padre, for the last couple of years, he's had almost a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
A fastball, cutter, curveball, change. He'll throw that cutter about 56% of the time. So lots of cutters from Mike Adams.
Adams with his 23rd appearance, 1.19 ERA. The Padres, to a certain extent, like last year, living on pitching, like the Nats have been. Michael Morse has hit the ball extremely hard 3 times tonight. A base hit right through second base. A liner to the track and left. And then a drive up the middle last time on which Alberto Gonzalez robbed him of a hit. And he swings at the first pitch. There it goes. See you later. Game over. The Nats walk off with a homer for the first time this year. Never seen him so locked in.
Well, Michael Morse was standing at first base. He said, Jason Bartlett, that's a good idea. I'm going to swing at the first pitch. Little walk-off piece for Michael Morse. Great job. He's hit every single ball in the screws tonight. He ends the game with a walk-off homer. What a great feeling. And that'll light up that clubhouse. That'll light up that dugout. That's made our 4th drive of the game. First pitch, cutter out over the plate. Michael Morse stay hot. He knew he got it. And look at the swing. Look at how still the head is. Catching it out front. Little extension. And right when you think everything is going against the Nats, Michael Morse turns their fortunes around. Throw the helmet up in the air and get silly at home plate.
Michael Morse has homered in 4 consecutive games. Debbie Taylor with Mike.
Michael, you've now homered in 4 straight games. How locked in are you?
Man, you know what? I'm getting good pitches to hit, and I'm not missing them, which is great. I'm not changing a thing. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and, just keep getting some wins.
What was your approach in that at bat? What were you looking for trying to do there?
See something over the plate. That was the thing. I picked a zone. And the pitch was there, and I hit it good.
Michael, this was obviously a tough road trip. You come home, you get some home cooking. How nice is it to be playing here at Nats Park, and can this set the tone for this homestand?
You know, it's awesome. We love it here. You know, the fans are great. You know, we had...
Whoa! Gatorade and shaving. See, Jerry Hairston, Jason Worth, and Danny Espinosa. Michael, I'm going to let you go.
All right, thank you.
Good work.
Thanks, Eddie.
Okay, guys, back up to you.
Well, Michael Morse is usually the best-looking guy in the team, but not right now. Great-looking swing, but look at Worth and Espinosa with the delivery. You know, FP, I know what you're thinking right now. A ball club needs something like this. We talked about this 3 hours ago. It can go one of two directions, and something like this can give you what you need for the next day.
Yeah, we talked about, they're not giving in. This is a time of year when you got to fight. And to have a walk-off win after a punch to the gut with a home run to tie the ball game, Drew Storr with a blown save, Michael Morse turns it right around with one swing of the bat.
And by the way, the previous walk-off win for the Nats this year was a ground ball to first base. Tonight, they blast their way to win it 2-1. Our next telecast tomorrow, 1 o'clock against the Padres. This has been a presentation of Masson, a 2-hour, 11-minute game. And from the booth, so long for just a while.